Something I've never talked about on my channel before is women who transition after becoming mothers. The specific case I have for you today is quite sad, but I think it perfectly describes how most people who transition nowadays transition so they can get attention and validation, and I would say for selfish reasons. Believe it or not, but some of these selfish people who identify as trans and transition are parents, and some of these people's kids don't want to be a part of it at all.
Last night my daughter asked me again to detransition, and this time she did it in front of her father, who also wishes I would detransition.
Speaking from personal experience, children quickly get used to being in a new situation. When I years ago came out as Marcus, the children in my family very quickly got used to calling me Marcus and he and him, even when I didn't pass. Because they're children, they listen to the adults in their lives. At least if they're well behaved, they listen to the new rules they have to follow. And I think children perceive calling someone a new name, set of pronouns, a new rule they have to follow. I believed in everything my parents told me when I was a kid. I don't remember ever second-guessing my parents when I was a kid. And isn't that natural? But your child is saying, no, I have a bad feeling about this. Not only do I not buy that you're a man, I want you to go back to living your life as a woman. Your child doesn't believe in what you're saying. Your child is second-guessing what you're doing. It says it all.
And my heart hurts so bad. Proud of the way I handled it, and I did well, but clearly I still am not doing enough for this child, and I will keep trying.
You're proud of how you handle the situation? What are you talking about? Your child is coming to you, is sad about the fact that you have transitioned. She wants you to detransition, she wants you to be her mom again. And you're more worried about how it makes you feel to hear this. How can you think about yourself in this case? How can you pat yourself on the back saying, oh, I'm so proud of me and how I reacted to my daughter's concerns? What is the matter with you? Did you even ask her if she's okay? Did you even ask her, why are you saying this? Why do you want me to be a woman? Don't you see how I'm experiencing trans joy? Or were you too busy only thinking about yourself?
Afterwards I went for a walk and I calmed down so that I could read the kids' bedtime stories and be normal. And I managed that, it was fine. My husband came to check on me and make sure I was okay. And I was like, basically it's an emperor's new clothes situation. The child is just saying what everybody thinks. And as much as I would have loved him to disagree with me, he didn't.
What is going on? Your own husband doesn't believe that you're trans. Why did you transition when your own family, your husband and kids didn't want you to transition? It would make sense if you were actually dysphoric and lived in a household where they're super against anything rainbow, against LGBT, the real kind. You truly thought, and a doctor, a professional that's not an ideologue, thought it would benefit you to go through the transition. Fair enough. But you're an American, and I don't think that your husband is anti-LGBT. I don't think your child is anti-LGBT. It would be weird if they were, because why would you marry a man who's... Anyways, I'm gonna assume that you went through the transition even though the people who love you the most told you it wouldn't be a good idea. My question to you is, why didn't you listen to them? Why didn't you listen to your own husband? And why are you with him if you don't want to listen to him? Did you think, I'm gonna do it anyways because they don't know me? You don't think that your own family knows you? According to you, you had to go on a long walk due to your daughter hurting your feelings. I'm not judging the fact that you needed a break. I mean, we all need a break sometimes, but what did you do afterwards? You didn't ask your daughter especially, are you okay? Obviously, she's hurting too. And I would argue without knowing your family, she's hurting more than you. Because she's a child and she lost her mother to a transition. I'm just guessing that your daughter has actually witnessed your transition. You're on testosterone, you will never get your voice back. To some degree, your looks back. You will forever be different, look and sound different. Your daughter is saying, can you please go back to being a woman?
Instead, while we were packing lunches, he let me know that he finds it really confronting now that people are starting to gender me correctly. In front of him, particularly my he/him pronouns. What am I supposed to do with that information?
Listen to your family? I'm afraid this is a rhetorical question. Or maybe a statement. What am I supposed to do about you not believing my transness? I have transitioned because I wanted to, and I don't care about what you think about it. I don't care if you don't believe that I'm trans.
Sometimes I seriously second guess myself and I wonder, what if I'm not trans? What if I'm wrong? What if I made all of these changes and then I realized that, I don't know, I had some sick, twisted need for validation. I lost myself in the early years of parenting and really just need to not be taken for granted. Maybe I was looking for gratitude. maybe I was looking for something else and I fooled myself.
It sounds like you're coming out as a detransitioner, but you're not. You're about to say however, or I was wrong or something. What you're saying makes sense, and it would make sense if those are the reasons why you transitioned in the first place. And it would also make sense why you transition after becoming a parent. How can you be an actual trans guy, a gender dysphoric female, if you were able to give birth, if you were able to become a mother? Transsexuals going through a medical gender transition will most likely sterilize them. Transsexuals, meaning gender dysphoric people, are ready to live with the consequences because the pain of the mental disorder gender dysphoria is so severe that they do not care if they can't become parents naturally or biologically. And gender dysphoric females especially couldn't handle being pregnant. Because they're already too dysphoric about being females, they cannot in any way do the most female thing ever, become pregnant and give birth. I'm not saying your mental health was always wonderful, but I believe you struggle with your mental health. But who's saying it's gender dysphoria? Where did you get that idea from? Who told you? Or why did you think this yourself? Are you even feeling better after transitioning? The vast majority of real transsexuals feel a lot better mentally after their transition. I'm one of them. I feel amazing. I feel at peace with myself. Life is still tough and I still struggle with some things, but it's nothing compared to what I struggled with before my transition.
Can't imagine detransitioning. I am happy, but at the same time, I never imagined transitioning either. And here we are. Sometimes I wish there just had have been a trial run before committing.
You wish what? You wish you could have tried the transition out before committing to it? I have never heard this before, and I have definitely not been thinking this way when applying for the transition back in the day. I think it's totally valid that you questioned the transition before receiving it. But if you weren't ready to commit to the transition, you shouldn't have received it, period. And that's your doctor's fault, of course. Unless you got it illegally, which I hope you didn't.
I knew going into transition that it wouldn't be a cure-all. At no point have I expected it to heal me or stop me having a mood disorder or any of the other things, right?
Right, going through a medical transition will not cure all of your problems, but it's supposed to make you feel just a little bit at peace with yourself. And if you're dealing with a mood disorder today, I only see it as another red flag. If you're talking about bipolar disorder or borderline disorder, both disorders share a symptom, which is having an identity crisis. So people experiencing that shouldn't permanently change their bodies. Because what's going to happen when they have a new identity crisis? They cannot go back. The transition is permanent, irreversible. Me going through the medical gender transition did not solve all of my problems, but it made my mental health so much better that now I feel like I'm a normal human being. Going from what I felt before my transition to now feeling normal was a huge improvement. Because now I'm ready to handle life. No one on this planet can avoid going through difficult times. We all experience pain from time to time, but I'm ready for this pain. I'm ready to face these struggles. I have the capacity now, I didn't before, to go through difficult times. And I think it's due to me solving my identity issues. I personally think it's weird for mothers to transition after having children. I mean, why? I can't get over how this mother ignored her own child, doesn't reconsider her transition in any way after her child showed concern. This woman is not listening to her own child and husband. Her husband is an adult, knows her, is married to her, and she doesn't care. I wouldn't say she doesn't care, but for some reasons, she doesn't believe that they know what they're talking about. This woman's family doesn't think that she has found inner peace. These people knew this woman prior to her transition, so what if her family thought she was happier before her transition? That would be an actual nightmare, to be honest. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want to support me and my channel, you can become a member, or I have my PayPal link in the description down below. Remember to follow me on social media. I love you and I cannot wait to see you in the comments. Peace out.